The case is simple. We're only one of three counties in the whole of Maryland that does not have a tax differential because we're being doubly taxed for our police force, which we pay for, but we also pay for the Sheriff's Department, part of it, and other things. But we also provide significant fire and emergency department help to the county. So this is taxation which is unfair. It's not a lot of money, but it's a principle. And this has been an issue for decades. And it's taken this long to even have a public hearing about it, which was opposed by Commissioner Fithian. I know Mayor Foster tried at least 5 times to have him return phone calls in the past couple of years. That they were never returned, there were never meetings. It was only with the election in November at the League of Women Voters meeting that the 2 new commissioners agreed to at least be open to studying the issue. I mean, that's just wrong, that's not democracy. And as Mr. Nickerson, one of the commissioners, said, well, you know, Chestertown is at the heartbeat of the county. Well, if it's the heartbeat of the county, then we need to be listened to and respected. And other people like Mr. Commissioner Price said, you know, he didn't see Chestertown as second-class citizens. Well, indeed, I don't either, and I won't accept being a second-class citizen. We make significant tax commitments to the county. This is not robbing Peter to pay Paul. This is just fairness. I saw a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, but the reason that 4 of us, including the mayor, turned up at the meeting was to ask questions at the public session. Because at the previous meeting, the workshop as they called it, there was no public discussion, and we were expecting that Commissioner Fithian, the president, would invite questioners to comment or whatever. We didn't get the chance, and we thought, okay, we have to go to the next meeting. And we did, and we waited for an hour and a half, and we all spoke. So the breakthrough, that's too big a word, the opening was to get a study done, and for the first time there was more of a commitment, even that's too strong a word, to have a study done by an independent consultant, ideally picked by the commissioners in conjunction with the council and the mayors of the other towns. And in fact, Commissioner Price said that the burden should be on Mayor Foster to do it. So basically he turned it over to Mayor Foster and said, okay, you find somebody to do the study, let us know what the cost would be. And I think we're talking about, I don't know, $5, $10, $15, $20,000. That's chump change for the return on investment we would get. And if there's no case, we'll know from the evidence that there isn't. But let's do it, and let's not wait any longer. This has been long-fingered far too much. Disappointingly, Mr. Fithian said, and I quote, "You're the ones that made this political." He's talking about the mayor and so on. This is not a political issue. This is a policy issue. This is a taxation issue. This is our right. And at last there is some movement, but it's slow. And we're not there yet, but Mayor Foster is very smart. He's worked for the federal government, private sector. He'll find a consultant, maybe at the University of Maryland, and we'll do it. There was one comment when I was speaking. Commissioner Price talked about, the study could be obsolete. Well, that's all theoretical. We won't know if it's obsolete until we do the study. Completely illogical. The community was really involved 2 weeks ago at the commissioners' meeting. There was a huge turnout. There's a lot of interest in the town. It doesn't mean a lot of money for individual property owners in terms of rebates, but it would involve a significant amount of money for the town to carry out services, roads and all the other stuff. and we're also contributing to the county. And the other question I have is, I'd like to see, because I don't get an answer on this, it seems to me the budget of the county commission is coming from the state, a huge amount of it, and Chestertown, which is the heartbeat of the community, providing taxes. So let's just have transparency, and let's do this with some speed. But this is not the Kirwan Commission, which took years to get there. And the Kirwan Commission problems are nothing to do with this study. That is a red herring thrown out by the commissioners. Finally, we're not asking the commissioners, who work for us, by the way, it's not as if we work for them. They work for us, and that needs to be the attitude. They're public servants, they're not public officials. I'm sure the mayor and the council would be prepared to share the cost of the study, and we could talk to the mayors of Galena, Betterton, share the cost of the study with the mayors from other towns. Because, you know, the commissioners keep saying, well, there isn't any money. But, I mean, even if it's about $20,000, this is a minor return on investment for what could be $250,000 to the town or more.